Howdy, Immortallium here. So, in the past, I've started a live stream, and it turns out that no one can hear me. So, if you're in the if you're watching this right now, could you just let me know that you guys can actually hear me? Because there was an incident a few years ago, a good few years ago at this point, I think, where I was talking for 9 minutes before I found out that people could actually hear me. I'm actually wondering if people even can hear me. YouTube's changed quite a bit since I started. Let me just quickly say something here. Can you hear me? Just checking. Great stuff. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for telling me that. So first off, I just want to say that the last video I did, it was about a month ago, and was talking about a change in the schedule. And when I did that, I was not intending for it to be a month without a video, understandably. It's just that a lot of things have been happening in my life, and I'm not like I just got busy and all that stuff. So, and I don't obviously want to go into too much detail about that. But I thought I got a webcam recently for a different purpose. I wasn't intending to use it for this channel, but I thought, hey, I can, do a live stream today and I can answer people's questions. YouTube has really changed quite a bit in terms of live streaming since I last did. I believe it was like I think it was 5 years ago or so that I did. Also, I noticed that that keeps autofocusing. I wonder, can I fix that? Hang on, let me just take a look. You don't have access, manage. Okay, you guys will have to forgive me. I'm not 100% on being able to fix that, but so I thought, hey, I can do a live stream. I can answer people's questions, and also, actually, let me show you this. I'll go quickly grab them. I thought the other fun thing I could do was I took a look at all of the anime that I have that I haven't actually opened yet, which actually comes out to be this gigantic pile here. So I thought, while I'm talking to people, while I'm answering questions, I could be unboxing these, showing off, their contents, etc., etc. So I'll get started with actually the most recent one, the one that actually arrived only yesterday, and that is Lupin the Third Part 5. So we'll just put this away first. Oh, almost dropped them. So if you guys know me, I'm a big Lupin fan. So of course I'm super excited to finally be able to get my hands on Part 5. I remember Anime Limited licensed this back when the show was coming out, which I think was, when was that? Was that 2018? Something like that. So it just took them quite a while to release. And now there's Part 6. But whatever. So let me just get this open first. I'm gonna have a huge pile of plastic by the end of this. I'll just put that over there for the moment. So, starting off, this is a rigid box, and we have the little card on the back because it was obscuring the. Hang on now, it was obscuring the artwork here. So that's always nice thing to do. So, one thing that actually surprised me is that there's actually a very substantial book here. If you take a look, apparently this is 120 pages, which is very, very impressive. Now, I haven't actually looked at it yet, obviously, because I've just opened it. So if we take a look at what this actually is, we can see the table of contents. It talks about character designs, props, and artboard. So I guess this is just an art book, which is, fair enough. Still pretty nice. So just to give you the Lupin example, like this is an example of Lupin's character design in the book. After that, okay, I guess we have the props section. So just showing off some of the cars and stuff. Just thumbs up the chudders for saying big Lupin fan since '96. Always awesome to hear that. And then we have artboards here, which actually is some pretty nice looking stuff. If we take a look, so some pretty nice stuff here. It's a nice enough book. Would have been nice if there was some like little interviews or some kind of essays. But overall, it's pretty good. I will say that. With regards to the actual release itself, I mean, of course, loving the artwork here. And here are the discs. Just checking. Yeah, everything's safe. I just wanted to make sure that there was nothing on these discs that would get me in trouble. I'm sure there wasn't, but I just wanted to make sure. So that is pretty nice. And actually, very nice stretch of artwork right here. So that's pretty good overall. In terms of actual extras, something I'm particularly excited about actually is I noticed here it says that's got the 50th anniversary OVA is Lupin Still Burning, which that's actually an insanely good extra to have. So I'll be very excited to check that out. Let me just put this away. So overall, pretty good. It took a long time since it was announced for it to actually get released, and I will put them over there. So excuse me. Next up is Kaiba. Now, I decided to get the standard edition because I took a look at the value of the collector's edition, and I was thinking to myself, excuse me, I'd rather get the standard edition, save a bit of money. So Kaiba is from Masaki Yuasa, who I actually haven't seen too much of his works. I recently watched Mind Game. I actually did a review on it, and I liked it quite a bit. After that, I've seen, what was that one called? It was part of Genius Party. It was the sixth short, which I really liked. That was the one with the baby who realizes that his world isn't real anymore. And I thought the way they handled that story, as well as the animation and everything, was so good. So I'm interested to check out more Masaki Yuasa. I know he also did, what's that movie called? The Night is Short, Walk On Girl, or something like that. You guys probably know the movie. I have that. I just haven't watched it yet. So anyway, I'm excited to get this. Taking a look at the ratings though from the BBFC. Some surprising mentions here. So this show seems a little more hardcore than I expected, which will be very interesting to watch. So I'll be looking forward to that. Of course, as I said, this is not a collector's edition, so I think we'll get through this one pretty quickly. Of course, just a reminder, if you guys have any questions or anything you want to ask or say, let me know in the chat. I can see the chat on this side of the screen right now. So we have, this looks like it's a reversible sleeve. As you can see, you could just rotate that and you'd have that piece of artwork on the front, which is pretty nice. And then the disc art itself, there is something oddly like, I don't know, I look at this and for some odd reason, I get reminded of Astro Boy. I think it's the proportions. So it's certainly not Astro Boy, though, at least not from what I'm reading with regards to the age rating. But regardless, I'm excited to check it out at some point. I've heard pretty good things about it as well, even if I didn't look too deep into the story or anything. After that, this was okay. Actually, recently, Anime Limited had a sale. I can't remember which sale it was specifically, but as part of that sale on their store, there was this buy one get one free offer, and I decided just to get a couple of things. I'll show you the first two first, and this show is pretty popular. I haven't watched it. I suspect that I'm not going to love it as much as other people do. But yeah, I might as well give it a shot. Maybe I'll actually really love it. But that is Demon Slayer right here. So as everyone knows, Demon Slayer is the big thing right now. I'm assuming it's still the big thing. I know Jujutsu Kaisen has also become a pretty big thing. But that movie, the box office of that movie was unbelievable. Like, I could be wrong. Isn't it the first time ever that an anime film, or Japanese film, has actually been the #1 grossing movie of the year. Like, wasn't that Demon Slayer movie the highest grossing movie of 2021? I think it was. So that was insane. And so, understandably, I'm a little curious about it, but not enough that I wanted to dive right in. So I waited for an offer, and obviously I got these reduced, which is pretty good. So it's also animated by, if I'm correct, did they say on the back? Yeah, Ufotable, which they're a pretty good animation studio. So I'm certainly curious to see how they handle the animation. But these are the standard editions as usual. So let me just open these right up. Yeah. There we go. Also, there's a little bit of a nick. I might have done that with the knife here. It's fine though. So this is the first half of the first season, I believe. No. This is the second half. Sorry, it says part 2 right here. Sorry, I see this picture everywhere, so I just assumed it was the first half of the show. So okay, they didn't pull out all the stops or whatever for this one for the inside, but I guess this is the standard edition. Even Kaiba had a little bit more there. So this is what it looks like on the inside, which relatively plain. And then after that, let me just put the discs back in. We got this, which is nothing too special disc art wise. Extras wise, I don't think there's, it's just your standard textless opening and ending, which I remember actually hearing from someone say, like, if an anime release doesn't have that, that's a very worrying sign. At the most basic level, all anime releases should have your textless opening and ending. So let me get this one open. There we go. Okay, some of the plastic's getting a little stuck. Let me just open this up. And very sticky plastic. Also, I'm completely right. I'll recycle that that plastic in a little bit. So this is actually the first season, the first box set. How many episodes is it in total? 26. Your standard 2-core series. Interestingly, it doesn't mention anything about textless opening and endings in this box. I presume I've never seen the show, so like, is there only one opening and ending for the whole show, and they just decided to stick on the second release? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that's the artwork, and after that, it's exactly the same as the other one. It's probably not even worth showing, but I'll quickly do it just to be a bit on more complete side. So it's just your episode listings and the logo. And with regards to the actual discs themselves, these discs right here. So, relatively plain. It's got the logo, which I believe like a politician in Japan got into a bit of trouble at a certain point because he used the logo and the color scheme of Demon Slayer on his like electoral posters. You guys should check that out definitely, because that is an interesting little story. So the other thing, now this isn't anime, just to tell you, but it is from Anime Limited, and I decided to pick them up as part of that buy one get one free, and that is the first 2 seasons of Castlevania, the Netflix series. Castlevania, just to start off, actually, I recently played through the Castlevania Anniversary collection, which had 7 Castlevania games, and they were definitely fun. Some of them, the difficulty kind of got a bit too much for me. I still got through it, but it was at the point where I wasn't considering to be much fun anymore. Also, actually, I better bring attention to it. Yes, I do have a snake. She's just she's probably just stretching out, doing some exercise, whatever. Anyway, so with regards to Castlevania, it's definitely an interesting franchise. and I've definitely enjoyed a lot of what I've played of Castlevania. So, of course, I was interested in the show simply because I've heard good things about the show. Now, this was done by Frederator Studios, which, if I'm correct, what Western animated series did they do? I feel like I associate them with Nickelodeon, but I could be wrong on that. Anyway, so I wanted to originally to get all four Castlevania seasons at once and be able to just watch the whole series that way. But it took them absolute ages to release Castlevania Season 2. I believe that only came out last year, and that was like 2 or 3 years after the release of this. So it's just a case of, okay, I'll buy them now. They're cheap enough. I'll take a look at them, see if I like the show, and then if in the future when they release the other seasons, then I'm just watching the snake up here, and then I can decide whether or not that I'm interested in continuing on the show. So let's take a look at this. So this first season, actually, I didn't want to spend much money on this because it's actually very short first season. It's only 4 episodes, 96 minutes in total, which is basically like a short enough movie. So let me just get this open. And let's see what the inside looks like. Okay, this has got a reversible cover. Pretty nice one, actually. If you take a look at the artwork for this, like, I actually really like that artwork. I'm actually kind of tempted to swap around the sleeve. But the disc art itself is also pretty nice. So great stuff, great stuff. After that, let me get the second season open. And this second season is actually quite a bit longer. It's double the length. It's 8 episodes, 192 minutes. So let me just get this open. And here we go. So let's see what the reversible sleeve is like here. It's pretty good. I'll say it's pretty good. I don't know if it quite beats out this artwork, though. That is some pretty nice artwork there. But, always appreciated those little reversible sleeves, giving us more options on how we want our home video release to look like. So that's good stuff. So I'll definitely be interested in checking this out and seeing what I think of it. Particularly since I've played some of the older Castlevania games now, and I believe they're meant to be heavily based off of Castlevania 3 or something like that. I'm not sure. Anyway, after that, we have this. This is a chunky box, but it's a bit deceptive in terms of how chunky it is and the actual amount of content, and that is Psychopaths, Sinners of the System. So Psychopaths, I just want to start off by saying I absolutely love Psychopaths as a franchise. I loved the first season. The second season, well, I mean, everyone knows that the second season wasn't as good as the first one. A lot of people hated it. I thought it was okay. There was a couple of inconsistencies with regards to the lore established about Psychopaths. But it was, I enjoyed it enough compared to, other anime series, and the movie was good. So I'm definitely interested in checking out more Psychopaths. The reason I held off on this for so long, though, is because I watched the first 2 seasons of Psychopaths and the movie in English, because I thought the English voice actors did really, really good in that series. And this one was currently Japanese only, so I'm going to have to watch this in Japanese, which is a bit of a change. But I saw it was reduced. It's the collector's edition. If they ever do an English language re-release where they make an English dub, I can always go back and pick it up. So let me just open up this box. Also, I was talking about how deceptive this box was in terms of content. So the actual, what you get these 3, they're called cases, but I believe, if I'm correct, these were theatrical movies. And each one is pretty short. All 3 cases together only adds up to 180 minutes, 3 hours. So I presume each case is about an hour. So Yeah, it's actually not that much content in terms of the actual movies themselves. What you do get, though, is a very nice box. This is actually very high quality looking. Just showing off the artwork there. And you get an obscene amount of of books right here. So first off, this is the case, which for the actual films. So some pretty nice looking artwork here. And this one certainly isn't reversible, but it's again some pretty nice looking artwork. And the disc itself is a little on the plain side, but that's okay. The more notable thing here is these two books here. So first off, you have this, which is about this thick. It's the Psychopath Sinners of the System case files booklet. And looks like it's about each specific case. I'm just curious how much. I obviously don't want to get spoiled here. But they do give, okay, here's fine example. So like they give like some character artwork, some information about the character, a little bit of background, etc., which is fair enough. Besides that, they do actually give some nice information about the locations, it looks like. So that is pretty nice. And besides, oh, here we go. This is actually what I wanted from that other book that we were talking about, the Lupin one. Some actual interviews with the creators. So that's fantastic. I'm really happy that it's actually quite a lot of interviews. This is all for case one, I think. Let me just see. Yeah, it is all case one. It's this. Leave that page, but it's written on this page. I'll conclude. It's this many pages of interviews, which is fantastic. That's actually really good. And it looks like, yeah, each case has a big section on interviewing the staff, which is great. I love that. That's a fantastic extra. After that, we have this chunky beast. Look at this. This is insane. So this says it's a storyboard. So while it's not the storyboard for the whole. Oh man, this is actually really good. They've actually done it like the actual legitimate storyboards. I've seen these storyboards. Well, not these specific storyboards, but these. Hang on, let me get the. Went out of focus there. That was the camera focus, by the way, that I was reacting to. So I've seen this type of storyboards because they're quite different to Western storyboards. And man, these are actually fantastic. Very interesting extra that they just straight up have tons and tons of storyboards in this big book. Interesting stuff. So yeah, so that's actually some pretty nice extras. In terms of on-disc extras, there's apparently an interview with a director, Naoyoshi Shiotani, which, respectable. And besides that, you get the 3 movies and that's it. So that's actually quite a bit of content, actually. Now, of course, I wish that there was that the movies were a little longer, but what can you do? Hopefully they're good. Better that they be short and great than long and long-winded, like overdone. So pretty good, actually. Particularly for the price I got it. I got it reduced, which is the reason I decided to just ignore the fact that it has no English dub and just actually buy it. And after that, this is something that I've been very interested in trying out for a while. And that is the recent Star Blazers series. So Star Blazers, if you don't know, is the Western name for Space Battleship Yamato. The original Space Battleship Yamato series was called Star Blazers when it was brought into America. And I guess for whatever reason, they wanted to keep that branding rather than call it Space Battleship Yamato. I'm not 100% sure why is Star Blazers such a well-known brand compared to Space Battleship Yamato. I have no idea. But if I'm correct, these are, I believe, yeah, these are actual TV series but these are adapted from these movies that they released in Japan. So I believe these are technically compilation um, series. Like, we're always hearing about compilation films where they take a TV series and make a movie, but this is one of those rare examples where they do the opposite. The only couple of examples I can think of off the top of my head that they did that was Gundam The Origin and Gundam Unicorn, where they actually made TV series from those films, well, OVAs. So I've actually already opened this before because I remember getting this quite a while ago. But I'll show this off first, and then I'll open up the other two. So this box set contains all 26 episodes of the show. And special features wise, doesn't look like it's got too much. It says so I guess this is just some little special feature. The newest frontier, Starblazer Space Battleship Yamato 2199. Some kind of, I don't know, behind the scenes thing, or maybe it's about the promotion, or I don't know. And then it's got an episode 9 commentary. Now, I'm going to start off by assuming that the commentary is done by the English dub cast, which, on occasion, those commentaries can be interesting, but in general, it kind of comes down to them acting very jokey and all that jazz. I just want to quickly answer this question that I've just seen from Unique23. What do I think about Otherworld Barbara by Moto Hagio? I actually haven't picked it up yet. It's on my wish list. I do want to pick it up at some point because I enjoyed Heart of Thomas. And actually, recently I read a Moto Hagio work called Little Leo, which was enjoyable. Little Leo wasn't, as good as Heart of Thomas, but it's still a very enjoyable, like a little read. And I don't know. I guess the reason that I haven't bought Otherworld Barbara yet is because of the price tag. I don't know how I seem in general, but I'm quite stingy when it comes to money. I'm always looking for discounts or offers, etc., etc. And sometimes you've just gotta kind of put your foot down and go, no, I've got to actually spend a bunch of money. Like, for instance, when I bought the Rose of Versailles books recently, those actually cost me a pretty penny to get the whole series. But I decided, Rose of Versailles is meant to be one of the greatest manga of all time. I may as well pick it up and read it at some point. Also picked up Claudine while I was at it, which is from the same author. But back to this, Star Blazers 2199. So I'm going to assume that our episode 9 commentary is from the English dub cast. So in terms of the actual inside, we have a digital copy with a code. I'm not going to show that. I don't think it, I wonder if it's expired, but I'm not going to show it yet. And in terms of the box, you have that. It does look like it might be a reversible. The disc art is, oh, actually, it does change, which is pretty nice. Got some of those lovely kind of modernized character designs of Leiji Matsumoto. And then you have this, which actually that's a pretty nice alternative cover. I'm still going to go with this one, but definitely appreciate it. So let me put that away. And yeah, decent enough, particularly for the price that I got it for. So just put that back. So then we have the next season here. And this, for whatever reason, the previous box, they decided to just put the whole series in one box. But this one, they decided, we're going to split this up into 2 releases. I was still able to get these for pretty good value. I remember adding them to my wish list on Amazon, and like eventually they were like half price basically. So I was like, I may as well get them. That's essentially getting one and getting the other one free, at least based on the older prices. So pretty good stuff. I'll open up part 1 first. So you got, these are in these little cardboard sleeves. Not as high quality as some of the other ones, but nice enough, I guess. So let me just slice this open. There we go. And struggling a bit with this one over here. God, okay. So In terms of extras, we have an interview with Ken Messerol. I'll probably butcher that name, Christopher Wetkamp. Clearly, those are English dub people, which, I'll watch the show probably in English dub if it's good. If it's not, I'll just swap over to Japanese. That might be interesting. And we got an episode 2 commentary. Again, I'm going to presume that's from the English cast. There's some textless songs, uh, and trailers. So, all right, extra stuff. Well, actually, very different art on the inside. I do quite like this because this one, as nice as it is, it's a little on the plain side. This actually very nice looking, surprisingly nice looking. So let me just open this up. Again, we have another Funimation digital copy code, which I'm going to hide from the viewers. This is what the inside of the box looks like. And again, they're doing a pretty decent job. Hang on. This I'm genuinely curious about. So you have this. So basically, you have this disc tray here, and usually, you'd have a disc on either side of the disc tray if there's, multiple discs. But for whatever reason, they've decided to have this disc be over here and not on the other side of this. So I'm a bit curious why that is. And then you have, that's a pretty nice one too, actually. That's the alternative artwork that you could put on the cover. So that's pretty nice. I'll stick with this one just because I do quite like this artwork here. So decent enough overall. You can just put this away. Oh, I actually forgot the Funimation code. Hang on. Those eagle-eyed viewers probably spotted that. There we go. And after that, we've got this, the second part of the series. So again, we have, oddly enough, they don't specify the episode, which episode the commentary is on. They did before. You got a Japanese promotional video. I guess that's nice enough extra. And then, of course, your textless songs. So let's get this open. Besides that, it's in this similar sleeve as the previous box. There we go. Oh man, so much. Ooh. That didn't sound good. Something just happened to my chair. I have no idea. I'm going to keep going. So after that, let's take a look at the, again, pretty nice artwork. I'm going to hide this this Funimation code. So we have this, which very angelic looking. And then we have this, which pretty nice enough looking artwork again. But again, I'm going to actually stick with the main cover because I do quite like this. So yeah, that's the 2 seasons. I believe there is more at some point, but I don't believe they're available over here. I could be wrong. I have to double check if there's more of this kind of new series, but I think there was from what I remember hearing. We're on to the last couple now. This is actually a series that I've heard quite a bit about, and it's a series that I wanted to pick up originally when it was released by Kaze in the UK and Ireland. But I didn't pick it up at the time. And probably pricing issues, or maybe I could be wrong. Well, first off, I better show you what series it is. It's Penguin Drum. And was the Kaze release defective in some way, or am I thinking of their Bakuman release? I'm not sure. I know that Kaze, they had a little bit of a reputation at the time for having some issues on their releases. So maybe that's why I avoided it. But Anime Limited have re-released Penguin Drum on Blu-ray, and I've heard that this show is actually surprisingly good. Based on the art style, I wasn't immediately sold on it, and the cover. But I've actually heard a lot of people praise Penguin Drum as actually being a really, really good show. So I decided to pick it up. So let's see. It doesn't mention much about extras. Actually, animation done by Brainspace. That's an interesting one. So let's slice this open. Looks like the snake is settled down. Watch someone make a little montage cut of like the snake moving about back there. So this is the reverse artwork, which nice enough. I'm not immediately sold on the art style of the show though, but I've heard good things about it, so I may as well give it a shot. Interesting covers in that they don't have the logo on either side, which is a little odd. They do have the logo here, well, the title, I should say, but. And then this is how they've organized it, which this can always be a little bit of a frustration when they stack the discs like this. But let's take a look at the artwork. Oh my god, actually. Wait, what? Why did I not notice this before? This is an 18 show. Holy crap. Oh my god, I did not realize that. You would not guess that from the art style. Why did I not know that this show was 18s? That is mad. Anyway, so this is artwork here. And then this is going to be a little bit frustrating to do these two stacked discs here. And then like that. So, nice enough. As I'll show you, there's one with an apple, which I'm presuming is very significant at a certain point. We'll see. Let's actually get to watch this show. And then the other thing is that, just like a lot of collector's editions from Anime Limited, we have a book here. So let's see what's contained in this book. So it says here, Princess of the Crystal Transformation storyboards. We've got character designs, locations, the Wonder of the Crystal World, Ringo Sexy Collection. Ringo Sexy Collection. Scene storyboards, Triple H visual guide, famous scene collection. Okay. I'm wondering how Not Safe for Work or NSW, not safe for NSFW, sorry, that this is. So, well, first off, I think this is fine. This is the artwork here. So, well, storyboards, I should say. So, pretty nice. We do have a little bit of an interview here, actually, which is pretty nice. It's not so much an interview, just a commentary of like, these are key animation pieces from this particular scene. The trail, and blah, blah, blah. In film, her figure is hardly visible. Here, the figures are taken out to better appreciate the stylistic and graceful aesthetics. So there was a little bit of an explanation there. So nice. I always like it when there's a little bit of commentary for these actual pieces of art. So that's nice. So flicking through, actually, they do have quite a bit. Oh my god, so blurry. They do have quite a bit written here. And after that, we have some extra shots from the show, backgrounds, obviously. And some stuff here. What section is this? Props of some kind. Obviously, this is coming from. Oh my. Okay, so this actually. Okay. Yeah, this is the section here that is probably a little not safe for work, so I can't show this. Huh. And then just have some explanation about certain things happening in certain episodes. Pretty nice. Fair enough. Okay, so it's actually, I do love it when they have commentary on these pieces of art. So that's good. Um, Also, again, you eagle-eyed viewers will have spotted that I forgot to put the Funimation thing back in that Star Blazers box. So hang on, let me sort that out first. Hiding the code. We've got two left over here. Actually, interesting story behind one of them. So, next up we have Inuyasha, the first release from Anime Limited. So, like, what I mean by that first release, season 1. I don't know when they're going to release season 2. This is quite a long show, from what I remember. This is like 170-ish episodes or something like that. But love Ranma half, absolutely adore it. And I wanted to try out more Rumiko Takahashi. They're releasing a lot more manga first now, so I decided to pick up Inuyasha, give it a shot to a certain point. So let me just get this open. Oh man, all this plastic. What I'll do is, as a as a little bonus, I'll pick up the pile of plastic at the end and show you guys. So, little back one there. Basically, full season. It says full season. Episodes 1 to 27. Oh, we actually got a poster in this. That's pretty good. We have an interview with a Japanese scriptwriter, so that's really good. And there is a booklet involved. A pretty short booklet, but a booklet nonetheless. So, some pretty nice artwork off the bat. Actually, I have to say, this box actually has a very nice feel to it. Very interesting. So, we have our two main characters. I don't know their names off the top of my head, but I haven't watched the show or read the manga. But I do know that these are the two main characters, and pretty nice artwork here. Again, they've stacked the discs, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but what can you do? So we have some very kind of abstract art here. I'm not sure how significant it is in the context of the Inuyasha show. I presume the other side is going to be... Oh, there are actually characters on this side. Hang on. Yeah, we got our two main characters over there. So, as usual, not the biggest fan of stacking discs on top of each other just because it makes it more awkward to actually get them out, but what can you do? And then, with regards to the booklet, and actually a poster as well. I'll open up this poster first. Actually pretty nice. This is the poster right here. It's got a kind of a glossy finish. Interesting. I might actually hang this up somewhere. Anyway, so that's always a nice little extra to get. And then we have our 20-page booklet, which, considering it's only 20 pages, I don't want to show too much from it. We do have quite a bit written here, actually, which is, again, always a good thing. See? So they actually do write a pretty significant amount here. So excellent. That's good. Then we have some little bit of artwork here. Yeah, so this second half of the book, it looks like, is all pieces of artwork. Like, for instance, let me show you that. But I think the first, let me count how many pages actually have like text on them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pages. That's actually respectable. Interesting. Okay, so let me put that back. But yeah, pretty good. I'm actually quite interested to see what the future box sets are going to be like. Oh, hang on. Let me see. Chudders. Good to hear from you again, Chudders. You Lupin fan. Did you ever think of read any of Rumiko Takahashi Rumiko World manga or watch any of the OVAs? I don't think the OVA is available over here. I could be wrong on that. If it is, correct me. But with regards to the actual Rumiko World manga, they haven't re-released that recently, have they? They've definitely released, what was it, Mermaid Saga they've released recently. They've released what's that other one from her? What's the actual Seinen one? Meison Ikoku, I think is the name. And that one Urusei Yatsura, which actually I would love to read Urusei Yatsura just because I see Loom, which is that girl from it, everywhere. So interesting stuff. But if it's available, of course, like I want to read more Rumiko Takahashi. I really do. I've enjoyed Run and a Half quite a bit, and I'd love to check out more from her. So I definitely do want to read more from her. And finally, this is the last one. There's a little bit of a story behind this. So this is Dororo here. This is the 2019 Dororo series, which of course I'm interested in. I've read Osamu Tezuka's original Dororo, and I've watched the 1969 anime series. The thing I always like to bring up to people is that this was released in 2019, this show, so it's actually a complete 50 years later, which I think is quite amazing, actually. But one day I had a parcel arrive, and I was expecting some other parcel, so I was like, oh, it's probably this, it's probably that. But then I took a look at what was actually on the parcel, and it mentioned that it was basically zero. Like it was like the value of the item is zero, and I was thinking to myself, that's quite weird. It was from MVM, which sometimes they do the shipping for Anime Limited. So in my mind at the time, it could still have been an Anime Limited release. But I open it up, and here's Dororo, and I'm going to assume that they sent it to me for free to review, which I'll definitely do at some point. This would definitely be an interesting one to review, considering my experience with the original manga and the original show. I do know there was a live action film of Dororo, which I haven't seen. And there was also a video game. I think it was called Blood Will Tell, which I haven't played. I haven't watched the live action movie. I haven't played the video game. But it's actually a surprisingly like big little franchise, which is kind of interesting to me. So I'm assuming they sent this to me to review. Now, the only other thing is that I remember going onto their website. Well, the one that you can order stuff from, was it like Anime Online or something like that? I can't remember the specific name. But I went to order Dororo because I believe this was reduced, and I didn't go through with it simply because the payment scheme, like for some odd reason, they didn't allow Visa or something like that, which is how I usually purchase stuff. So it's like, oh, I just won't order it then. I don't know if I'll get onto that in a moment, Chutters. I don't know if they saw that. They were like, oh, this is that guy who he's reviewed stuff for us, and we know that he's an Osamu Tezuka fan, because I'm going to guess that that's probably the thing that most people know about me, that I'm a fan of Osamu Tezuka. So I don't know if they decided then, like, let's send this, have him promote it, review it, blah, blah, blah. But that's kind of my story with that. So I just thought I'd share that because I think it's a little bit of an interesting story. So I'm just going to. So Chutter says that Manga UK released 3 of the OVAs on VHS. Well, unfortunately, I don't have them on VHS. VHS, wow. Haven't thought about that format for a while now. I have all these memories of being a kid, and I have memories of being a kid. What a shock! But I have all these VHSs of Disney movies and Don Bluth animated movies and all sorts of animated media, and I just have them in, and like I'd be playing them all the time. I'd be doing stuff in the background, and I'd have like Pinocchio on the screen. and like the Donkey Island sequence absolutely terrifying me. So definitely had a fair few VHS. But I didn't discover anime and manga really until I was in secondary school, which is kind of like, if for those of you who are more familiar with American education system, that's like if you combined middle school and high school into one school. But it wasn't until then. Obviously, I'd watched Pokemon and Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh and all these other anime series as a kid, but I didn't know they were anime series. In fact, the thing that always makes people laugh is when I bring up Digimon. When they're digivolving, and they have the name of the Digimon in English in the background, but they also have the name of the Digimon in katakana. But as a kid, obviously didn't know what katakana was, so I just assumed it was Digimon language, which always makes people laugh. But anyway, so I watched a lot of anime as a kid through that regard, but I didn't know it was anime. It wasn't until I got into secondary school and I met a couple of people who knew what anime was. And they explained to me what anime was, and I kind of realized to myself, oh, I've actually been watching anime. Well, like I watched anime as a kid, I just didn't know it, and that's when I started like picking up stuff. Like I believe some of the first anime I picked up was adaptations from video games, Devil May Cry and Seikoku Basara. After that, I picked up Naruto, and Naruto was the first anime series that I really got into. So, that's how the story began. But I by that point it was very much DVD, and I think even like a bit of Blu-ray at that point. So I never picked up anime on VHS. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that story. But it would definitely be interesting to watch those at some point. I'd absolutely love to. So back to the Roro here. So we got a nice enough little cover here. The back here says that it's pretty standard stuff when it comes to the extras. We got our clean opening animation. Excuse me. Clean closing animations and some Japanese promos. So, okay, that's, all right. Good God. I really need to sort that out if I ever do any live streams in the future. But this is the first time I live streamed in 5 years, so give me a break. So it looks like we have again a reversible sleeve here. Although I suspect, I'll explain something in a bit for those of you who aren't either in Britain or Ireland and don't import, UK releases of DVDs and Blu-rays. So we have the, discard here. This is the same as the back cover. Just showing off some little backgrounds and stuff. Setting's always nice in Dororo. And then we have the same artwork as the front. And you might be wondering to yourself, what's the point of that? Well, this is something that they do quite a bit of in Britain and Ireland. So you'll notice on the cover, besides the fact that there's an MVM logo, that there's also this. This is the age rating. This is from the BBFC. I believe it stands for the British Board of Film Classification. I think that's what it stands for, where they rate, everything. And something that's a bit different to other countries is that, as far as I can tell, certainly with regards to home video releases, it is absolutely mandatory that the work in question be rated. I think they brought that in back in the 80s when this thing called Video Nasties popped up, which was all about these horror films and the fact that these VHSs were unrated, so a kid could buy this crazy brutal horror film. And they just had this big panic and stuff. So if they made it mandatory that everyone has to get their home video releases rated, which is both a good and a bad thing. If you ever listen to the Manga UK podcast, you'll hear Jerome Mazzanarani complaining about it because of the pricing, the fact that there's actually quite a decent cost of getting these works rated. So that is a bit of a problem. But besides that, it has to be on every release. So what they've done here is that they've made one on the inside where it doesn't have either the MVM logo or the actual age rating. So you can take the age rating off if you want. So yeah, that's all of the stuff. Let me just first off show you this gigantic pile of plastic. Oh my. And if you guys don't have any more questions, there are a couple of other things I need to do. So I'll just put this over here for the moment, and I'll just wait a moment, see if anyone has any questions. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I know that it's been a while since I've actually put up a video, and I do want to rectify that. It's just that life's been pretty busy for me at the moment. And if you guys are waiting for more content from me, you're like, you want something from Immortallium, but I haven't put up a video recently or something like that. There are two other ways that you can get access to content from me. So I am doing a blog at the moment, immortalliumblog.com, where I put up content on anime, on manga, video games, and other usually ending up either horror or Western animation. So I do that twice a week. I release 2 of those a week, and I think it's worth checking out if you're interested in hearing my opinions more on stuff, where I give information about stuff. Like, for instance, I remember writing an article about OVAs, their history, and how they came to be, their place in the modern anime industry, etc., etc. And then the other thing is, if you guys are familiar with a website called UK Anime Network, I'm actually writing reviews for them now. It's a kind of a very laid back affair. They haven't given me too much to actually review. Most of the stuff I review there is stuff that I've read or watched recently, and I decided, you know what, or played recently, so I'll just put it up. So I reviewed the Osamu Tezuka story on there. I reviewed Leo. I mentioned that from Motohagio. I did review the first volume of Slayers, the light novels, which I didn't actually review on my main channel, because on my main channel I kind of prefer to review complete series. But I think that's worth checking out. And then I'm also reviewing some games on there. I gave a review of Sekiro, which I thought was fantastic. I gave a review for Elden Ring and Eiyuden Chronicle Rising. I got that from my Kickstarter pledge recently. And also, the first and only thing that they've given me to actually review so far was a game called, I think it was called Token Ranbu Warriors or something like that. And I had to play through that and get the review done before the embargo was lifted, which meant some pretty hardcore playing of the game in order to get it done in the course of only a couple of days. So, that's one example of something that I had to be that took up a lot of my time. But it was worth doing because I would never play the game otherwise. I have my own opinion on it now. You can read about that opinion on UK Anime Network if you're interested. And I didn't even know about the Token Ranbu franchise, so that was certainly interesting. So it doesn't look like people have any more questions for me. So I'm going to leave it off here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. I will be trying, to produce more videos, in the next while. But I'm also working away on other stuff as well. So feel free to check out immortalliumblog.com or my content on UK Anime Network. Actually, the other thing I forgot to mention is that I wrote an article about the Osamu Tezuka experimental short films, which I did cover here on the main channel, but I still think it's worth reading. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and bye-bye.